Okay, witches, welcome back to the channel. Once again, this is Sectarios. So this video is going to be the video on demons. This is information that I channeled actually last night, and I just wanted to do a video on it because I think it's very important to put out there. I do have another topic I want to cover, which is about past lives and more specifically my own most recent past life, I believe, and some sort of experiences with that and with figuring it out, but I'll do that in a separate video. So I basically channeled this information last night, so I wrote like sort of like 3 pages on it. Oh, I forgot I had some other topics too. I'll do those later as well. I have 2 other topics I want to cover besides the past life one. But anyway, I channeled all this information last night, and I sort of already touched upon this before when I was talking about demons, but basically it's the concept that demons are they serve a higher function and a higher purpose. They're guardians of truth. They're guardians of secrets. They're guardians of power. So, you know, they might seem and maybe even be malicious and malevolent, but in the higher order of the universe, they exist. They're allowed to exist for the purpose and for the reason of the fact that they're guardians of secret wisdom and secret power, and different things like that. So it's almost like, think about the goddess Kali. If you look into the mythology of her, you know, where she, on one line of mythology about her, supposedly, she was created as an emanation from the supreme goddess, as a basically incarnation of a destructive, battling, malevolent force in that way, in order to do battle with demons and to destroy them, basically. But, you know, she is a sort of destruction entity in and of herself, to the point to where she even destroys the other god, Shiva. So there is an aspect of this that has been well known in some kind of a way, in different mythology, that demons or certain entities of malevolence, of destruction in that way, are protecting spirits. You even have this sort of with goddess Hecate, where she was seen as a sort of scary demonical kind of evil spirit in certain mythology lines of ancient Greece. However, she was still petitioned to protect you from other evil spirits and to deal with other lesser evil spirits. So there's sort of this underlying thing in certain mythologies, and certainly with Hecate as well. But to a greater degree, I wanted to discuss this about all demons in general. I'm sort of just going to read over this because I don't really remember exactly everything I wrote. Demons and dark energy, demonic energy, are guardians of truth and power. So I wanted to sort of equate this in a way so that, you know, like the newer people into magic will understand it. They are like, the demons are like sort of the enemies and the bosses that you will face in video games, or like the villains of a movie or a TV show. That basically, when you battle them, when you confront them and defeat them, they drop loot, okay, that you can receive. It's like a reward or a treasure that you obtain through the process of battling them or confronting them, okay? And these rewards and treasures, this loot, is usually greater personal power, wisdom, and occult secrets and knowledge. Now, once again, this is kind of just like a crude example, but I kind of wanted to get it across to the newer people coming into the craft and the younger generations and stuff, to sort of understand, you know, what this is and how this works. So the simple act of going to war against these entities in itself and from within yourself will compel you to strategize and come up with new ideas, thoughts, and gnosis in order to defeat, confront, and overcome them. So it's sort of like an initiation in that regard. Initiation rituals, if you really look at it in all these different traditions, they're meant to be scary, confrontational, intimidating experiences. They're meant to be like you're being challenged by this organization, and you have to face those challenges in order to be received into, you know, their secrets and their wisdom and their power that they share with you. And that's really how you need to look at demons. You know, it's very much the same with that. Now, of course, this has different layers and levels. I kind of just reiterated that, what I already previously said. But basically, that this is the higher use and purpose, and why demons are even allowed to exist as they are. They're guardians. They're initiators in a way. In the way of, they are guardians. They deem who or who is not worthy to bypass them and to be allowed to get into, you know, whatever treasure that they are the guardian over. Okay? So it's an initiation in that way. It's a challenging entity or force. It's a guardian force that basically you have to prove yourself worthy to. And you do that by confrontation. It's the same way as initiations work. That's why I'm kind of comparing it. In initiation, you are challenged and you have to basically argue your legitimacy or relevance or worthiness to be accepted and to be allowed into that occult order or that secret wisdom or current or whatever it is. And so that's how this works. Now, you have spiritual initiations from other spirits like deities and gods and stuff like that. That is different. So once again, I want to emphasize that demons are guardian spirits. They're not necessarily seeking you out to initiate you. They're more so guardians of secret wisdom and knowledge. And when you come in contact with them, they will test you if you're worthy or not. It's different from spiritual initiations from gods and stuff like that. Okay, there is a difference to it. So I want to emphasize that. But they definitely are. They're guardians and testers when you come in contact with them. So I also did include this, and I don't necessarily know why, but this just came to me as well as a part of this gnosis. So I'm just going to share it. On the aspect of confronting or defeating or overcoming these entities, they're immortal. You can't really kill or permanently destroy a demon. You know, you can sort of vanquish it from your life, in any kind of negative sense. You can get rid of it, you can banish it from your life, but you can't actually kill or destroy a demon. They are mortal beings. Even if you do some kind of thing like that, you know, vanquishing or defeating them or whatever, that is just for you. They can still exist and affect other people. Even if you help someone else defeat them, they can still exist for other people and stuff like that. So you can't actually get rid of them. And I don't necessarily think that you should even view it like that or try to, because these beings do exist for a reason. They are guardians of certain things, and they're very much, you know, once again, like the sense of Hecate in her dark aspect, or Kali Ma, or just Kali. They exist as these guardians and protectors that the higher energies, the higher beings did create for a reason. So make sure that you understand that. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to include that in there. I don't necessarily know why, but I channeled it, so it must be important for people to understand. So I did once again emphasize there are different levels and layers to this. For example, if you have already acquired a certain power or gnosis or level of knowledge or wisdom, and then you later come in contact with a demon that is a guardian of that knowledge, you won't necessarily have any kind of confrontation or challenge from that spirit where they're trying to test you or see if you're worthy. You might just automatically get along with that spirit because you're already at that level. You've already passed that initiation in some other way, in some other means. So there's different layers and level to this. I'm not saying that every single demon that you come in contact with will challenge you or put you in a situation where you have to confront them. That is not what I'm saying. That's absolutely not the case. There's lots of things that you already know. There's lots of occult wisdom and power that you already have and you've attained in other means. And demons that you come in contact with that are guardians of that knowledge, they're more so going to be allies to you and protectors of you because that knowledge is already in you. You're part of that stream and that current of knowledge. So they'll probably be allies and guardians of you in that way. So there is different levels and layers to this. Another example is where did I write this other example at? Oh, I already kind of covered that. But basically, I put another example. Sometimes demons become your allies and familiars after you battle and overcome them and their challenges. So if you confront and defeat a demon, it may then become your servitor or one of your guardians. As you now possess the power or wisdom it is ordained to protect. So even if you come in contact with a demon and it's guarding something from you, and it puts you through this whole trial and process of, you know, being deemed worthy or not, that doesn't necessarily mean that the demon is your enemy inherently. It just means that the demon is guarding something and it's doing what it's meant to do. It's protecting that knowledge and making sure that only the worthy are able to access it, and filtering out and vetting out the profane from accessing it. So, you know, just because the demons do malevolent things, it does not mean that they're inherently your enemy or malevolent towards you. It's more so that they are just doing their job, okay? So I just wanted to make sure you understood that. And after you overcome their challenges or defeat them, you know, if you want to call it like that, they will then become your protectors, because you will gain the knowledge that they protect, and in so doing you become that knowledge. Okay, so another aspect to this, demons can be guardians of knowledge, wisdom, secrets, and otherwise intangible things, but they can also be guardians of literal hidden treasure. They can be guardians of certain places of power and areas. They can also be guardians of certain spell books and grimoires. A lot of times, if you do research and look into different things, there's spirits that are attached to certain books and grimoires and things like that. You know, there's been stories of people who are reading a magical book and it's like they can't process it. It's like something's blocking them from being able to even read the words on the page sometimes. Like they'll have to keep rereading the same sentences over and over again, because as they're reading it, something is blocking their consciousness from reading it, from obtaining that knowledge. So demons can guard the knowledge in grimoires in that way. They can be guarding it like that. And there's also stories of people getting grimoires and different spell books and things like that, and demonic activity starts happening around them, and that is the demonic force challenging them, testing them to see if they're worthy of that knowledge or not. Okay, you have to understand this from an aspect of that old saying that fortune favors the bold. Okay, well, so do spirits. Okay, spirits, they test you. They want to make sure that you are, you know, made of the right consistency, the right spiritual strength to even deserve this knowledge, that you'll even be able to handle it when you get it and use it in the right way. Okay? You have to understand it from this aspect. So I just wanted to include that, you know, they can be guardians of places of power as well. You know, they don't have to necessarily guard knowledge. They can be guarding a place. And I kind of experienced that in my own life when, if you go back and watch my videos of scary witch stories, you know, one of the things that I experienced here in this town when I was more so younger, getting on this path, was I saw a demonic entity in one of the graveyards here, and it sort of chased me and my witchy friends away. Through that fear, intimidation factor, you know, we just ran away from it. But over time, ironically, now that cemetery in particular is the one that I favor the most, and I go to the most for my workings. So it is a place of power that I was challenged at first when I first went there, and over time, you know, I have gained the worthiness, you know, to now that is one of my mainstays in my practice, one of my main places of power that I go to and venerate and tap into for my practice and my craft. And this is a normal thing. This is something that you will see repeated over and over in people's experiences in the craft, that these spirits are guardians of these different places like that as well. So that is very important to understand as well, and they will test you. They will try to scare you off at first, and if you are worthy, you keep going back there regardless. Things like that, through you proving your own bravery and courage. As they say in initiation rituals, you know, once again, it is better that you should rush upon this blade basically and kill yourself now rather than to enter this circle with fear in your heart. How do you enter? They're putting a challenge to you. Okay, they're asking you that question. They're testing you. And you say, I'm entering with perfect love and perfect trust. And you have to really mean it. Once again, that is a witchcraft, occult, tradition, coven type initiation. These initiations or challenges by demons they're different, but they're similar. Okay, I want to emphasize they're different, but they're similar. You're not necessarily just being asked a question from the demon and you just give a mechanical, prescripted answer. You have to really feel that and be that answer by your own self, by your own actions. Once again, as I said in the first thing I was saying, they challenge you in the aspect of compelling you from within yourself to grow your own courage, grow your own power, in order that you meet their challenges and overcome them. So, there is a dual nature to this as well. Okay, you really have to be worthy internally by meeting that energy and meeting that challenge. Let me see what else I wrote here. So I said, this is largely why just seeking out occult power and wisdom in and of itself is a form of spirit initiation. Just the act of seeking out occult secrets and knowledge, whether that is through things that you're reading online, through books that you're purchasing, grimoires and spell books, once again, which certain demons guard certain ones. Just seeking out this knowledge, you will come in contact with demons. You will come in contact with other spirits and gods and goddesses that will initiate you and stuff like that. So just seeking that out, you will come in contact with these beings and they will test you or otherwise initiate you. And all of this is a process of vetting out the profane from the worthy, okay? People who are profane, they will never advance in these kind of things. They just won't, because the spirits protect it. The demons especially guard it, okay? People who are, dabblers, or they want to just come into witchcraft to abuse it, or, they look down their nose at witchcraft and come into it. They won't advance past a certain point. Excuse me. Because the demons in particular and most specifically will guard this knowledge and basically scare off the people who aren't worthy. So they serve a higher purpose. They are intrinsically a part of this path. They are guardian spirits, okay? The conflict with the demon is the initiation. It is the test to see if you are spiritually worthy to be granted access to the secrets. This has almost infinite levels and layers. Demons may truly guard over every single aspect of magic and the occult. But once again, we may all be coming into this at different levels. So there may be so much that you already inherently, intuitively know, and you won't necessarily come into contact with demons on those areas. Or if you do, it won't be in the challenging aspect. They'll just automatically be, your familiars and your own guardians and your own allies, because you already have that knowledge within you. But for any knowledge that you are seeking and to any knowledge that you are trying to gain, more than likely 100% of the time you're going to come in contact with some sort of guardian spirit over that knowledge and shit like that. and you will have to confront it on some level. You know, as a matter of fact, the next point that I put is that demons require confrontation. They require you to confront and overcome them and the challenges that they're presenting to you. Okay? Not necessarily that you have to fight the demon itself, but you have to overcome their tests. You have to confront their challenges and, you know, be good enough in that to win their approval so they stop challenging you. Now, the challenges themselves, this is important as well. Actually, let me backtrack here. The demons themselves can come in infinite forms. They don't normally have a humanoid manifest body, or you know, like the stereotypical, oh, I evoked this demon to physical manifestation, whatever. You know, they don't normally appear like that. That is when a magician compels them through ritual to manifest like that. And you can read this in the grimoires. Look at the Goetia. The demons often appear in bizarre, multi-bodied forms. They don't necessarily appear in a humanoid type form until the magician sort of either requests it or compels them to. Okay, this is important. Demons appear, you know, if they had it their way, without a magician compelling them or asking them. Demons appear in multi-bodied forms. They manifest in a way that we can't necessarily comprehend unless you analyze it in this way that I'm talking about right now. The way that demons mostly manifest is through situations, through incidents, through things that happen in relationships. They manifest in a spread out, multi-tentacled way in a situation itself. Okay, they're an energy. They are a consciousness. They are an entity, but on the aspect of what they're made up of, their composition, their body, if you have to view it in those terms to understand, the bodies that they take on is multi-layered. They're not bound to one physical body. They can manifest in an entire situation of a group of people. They can manifest in an entire incident, you know, with just different things like that. You know, a car accident can be the manifestation of a demon. An argument that you're having with your lover can be the manifestation of a demon. That can be its body. That could be what it's physically incarnating and manifesting through. And this is important to understand, okay? So when they're challenging you, when they're giving you these tests and challenging you, they will manifest in almost an infinite number of forms and ways. And it's going to be in these things like I've just given examples of. Okay, this is very important. They can manifest as a sickness, as you getting sick. They can manifest as, you know, once again, you know, some kind of an accident. They can manifest as you cutting yourself by accident. They can manifest in so many different ways. It really is infinite, okay? And the different demons, you know, that rule over different things and that guard different secret wisdoms manifest in different forms that are akin to the energy that they are, okay? This is important to understand. I can't emphasize this enough. I don't know if you just heard the ceiling pop, but it did. But, you know, they manifest in different forms. Okay, the ceiling popping, that is a manifestation of Hecate. Okay, she's not a demon, but, you know, that's one of the ways that she manifests on the physical plane for me. She usually does the popping sounds when she wants to emphasize or affirm or confirm something that I'm thinking or saying. That's how the communication works with us, with the knocking that she does. So, you know, once again, this is important. You need to understand that demons manifest as, you know, a multi-layered event. Okay, most often that's how they manifest. It's not really until you get into evocation and doing ritual magic like that, that you as a magician, through your ritual, are compelling them to manifest into a singular body or form, you know, in the triangle or in the evocation process. Okay? It's very important. So when they are challenging you, when they're testing you, when they're appearing or feeling the function of a guardian spirit testing you, they'll most often appear in these type of multi-formed ways. And that's very important to understand. I cannot emphasize that enough. So a negative situation or event that keeps repeating in your life or keeps happening to you, you know, repeatedly, it keeps happening over and over again with different people, with different situations, or rather with different people, but it's the same type of situation over and over again. That very much could be a demon that is testing you. And it's trying to get you, or trying to see if you will rise to that challenge and deal with the situation in the right way. And once you do, that situation will stop repeating. That type of situation, that type of person and energy will stop being drawn to you and stop happening to you. Okay, so that is an important indicator that you are being tested by demons. And there is a knowledge that you will gain in the process. If you're dealing with a situation that's repeating and it's a negative situation, there's something in you that you need to change in how you're dealing with it. And allowing that to happen to you in that kind of a way, or attracting that to happen to you in that kind of a way. You need to gain a new level of wisdom or power to stop that from repeating. Okay? And these are the type of things that are initiations by these spirits. That was like mainly the last key thing that I wanted to say. And once again, all of this is sanctioned